Duck, what are you doing? Why were you just standing there?
Not so tough after all.
No! He was one shot away. Come on, come on, come on. Are you kidding me? No, no. No! Son of a bitch. Uncharted is an amazing video game that came out all the way back in 2007. Since then, it spawned an entire franchise consisting of 5 pretty decent games, 1 pretty bad movie, and 1 pretty good short film, so maybe it evens out. But since then, there have been just shy of 1 million game owners, which is crazy because I can barely even count that high. Of all the people that have ever owned the game though, just shy of 140,000 people have actually beaten it on the 2nd highest difficulty, crushing. So today, I'm gonna be a part of the 3% that beats it on the actual highest difficulty, brutal. Like most good stories, this game starts on chapter 1, and overall it's a fairly easy chapter. Despite that, I still die like 3 times, and I learn 3 things from that. First, you only get 1 or 2 shots to live. Like literally the first shot is a warning shot, maybe. Half the time it kills you, and the second one will definitely get you if your head is poked out long enough. And yes, I know before you nerds get in the comments like, actually he has luck points, not hit points. Yeah, I know, okay? It's just easier to explain HP than luck and go into the lore of Uncharted. This is only episode 1, give it time, okay? The second thing I learned is that my aim is pretty dog shit. And that is partly because it's an old and slow game, and that's also partly because I am also dog shit. And that does improve, but it takes a little bit. The third thing I learned is that this is classic Naughty Dog. So the higher you increase the difficulty, the less ammo you get in return. That means you just have to be super careful with your aiming and try to melee a lot, frankly. Why couldn't I melee him? It really makes you think, like, how can I do this arena better? Or how can I do this stage differently? Eventually though, we do get rescued by Sully, who flies us into Chapter 2. After that extreme firefight in Chapter 1, Chapter 2 starts pretty peacefully. So you just get to learn the movement and a little bit about our characters. And speaking of that, let's give us a quick rundown. First we met Nate. He is our main character hero. He is pretty cool and gets himself into unlucky situations, but finds a lucky way out of it, and always has a great one-liner. You guys just met Elena. She's a journalist whose boat we just blew up and then left, so that's pretty freaking cool. And last but not least, we have our trusty mentor Sully, who's been in the game for years and always has a cigar and a dirty joke ready. We keep exploring the jungle for a bit before we run into our first bit of parkour, and this was really cool for the time. Remember, this was 2007, but this also introduces us to just how janky this game is. Yeah, you just got to embrace it. Then we make a hole in the ground using our superhuman strength, and we jump into this temple. To get through this next area, we have to shoot a bunch of these braziers, which are still on fire miraculously after all these years. And then we finally encounter our first puzzle. It helps that you can only look in your journal when you're doing a puzzle. Unlike other games, that was a change, but it's really easy overall because you just have to follow the numbers in the journal, and those correspond to these doors that you just have to push in on the walls. When you do all that in the right order, it opens up the giant hole in the floor. Once we climb in the hole in the ground, we have to... Oh, what's that, Sully?
Hey, watch your step down.
Nah, I'm sure we'll be okay.
You're a fucking idiot.
If we decide to actually listen to Sully though, then we go left, push this giant stone, then jump in the water, explore the temple, blow up the door, and let Sully through. Then we have to run away from these walls, Crash Bandicoot style, wink wink, nudge nudge, and that brings us outside and into Chapter 3. To start Chapter 3, we monkey around a U-boat. That's exactly where it shouldn't be. Climb inside and explore a little bit. I skipped this cutscene because I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible. And that brings us to our first set of actual deaths, specifically this guy. We're getting shot at from the back, and I just keep trying to melee this guy, and I just get really unlucky. I can't do the brutal combo. I don't know what's going on. And then finally, I'm kind of able to just make it through, and I'm not questioning it. So I just run straight through it, and then that leads us to meet up with Elena. Now that we're on, you'd think we do better, but we don't as soon as we encounter these guys, and that leads us to our next couple of deaths. And you would not believe how many deaths I get from this whole hallway in total. It's actually pretty difficult. I clicked circle to keep exploring, and this part is really difficult because you can't avoid the stairs that are right here. That is the only entrance to this hallway, and you are forced to go down this long tunnel. Like, I pretty much consistently died. For instance, right here I got a headshot and then I stood still for whatever reason, so that caused me to immediately die, and that just made me think like how janky this game actually is. And that's just because it's an old game, but it does add an extra difficulty layer on top of this already kind of difficult game. Nay, very difficult game. A couple more deaths and I learned to roll to the side, which was pretty good. Brutal difficulty is definitely brutal. I agree with that, but I do kind of find a good strategy here. Am I even on chapter 3 yet? Yes, you are still on chapter 3. I eventually made it out of this first part and into the second part, which is nice, but I used my last bullet to take out this guy, which is super cool. But then I was like, I have no bullets. I don't know what to do. And that's when I learned that when you die, you respawn with more bullets. Oh, nice. We're finally at 50 deaths. It only took us 3 chapters. Also, it's a good thing NPCs can't die because Elena definitely would have right here.
I'm fine there. Elena, that's not...
Like, seriously? She is a tank. But once we get the last guy, she's able to bring us to her Jeep, and we're able to drive into Chapter 4. Just like Chapter 2, Chapter 4 starts off pretty serenely, which is kind of nice, except it very quickly gets not that way. I mean, hell, dude, even the water is dangerous. I died to that like twice. Also, I tried saving here, and then I made it, which was nice, but I found out that saving doesn't work, so don't try it. I don't really learn my lesson till later, but just don't try it. I'm also grateful for this wooden board that's right here, because I don't know how it's this bulletproof, but if it wasn't, I would definitely be dead right now. It's kind of crazy that this small area was 27 deaths because this next arena has 4 phases to it, and somehow I have just as many deaths. So as soon as you jump into this arena, you have to get these first couple of guys, but you pretty much instantly get spotted, so you have to figure out a way to not do that. And speaking of stealthing, there's no real way to stealth this arena either. Unlike other arenas, you actually have to go through every phase of this fight instead of like figuring out a way to get everyone's quietly.
We got it! I don't even know what killed me there.
I'm watching this footage back, I still don't know what got me there. I did have a pretty close call here, and so I tried saving, but then I immediately died. This is when I finally learned that I couldn't save in this game like modern games.
But now, if I click... Nope. So you can't actually save.
It's been like less than 1 full chapter and we're already at death 100. Let's freaking go. Then I started having a pretty good run, but this guy doesn't die to this grenade, so it wasn't a good run anymore.
Come on, come on, come on. Are you kidding me?
And then I finally made it to a checkpoint, but I'm still in the arena.
Why was I not able to hit him? Why was he not able to hit me? Oh, it's just gonna keep me here though. I'll take this.
Once you pick off the last couple of guys though, you're able to get into the next area by kicking down the gate. Ooh, never mind. Luckily at checkpoints here though, so you're able to just climb up the side, and I'm actually kind of able to just stay here and play like a messed up version of whack-a-mole, but then I'm actually able to make it through this section without dying, which is pretty nice. Do a little bit more parkour, and I fail at this super basic jump. I thought I was done here. So I started reloading as I was running into the next area, and that's when I remembered that there are more people here, which was super cool. It's also always fun to die to your own grenade, and here I think I find a new strat, but then I immediately die.
Well, that's not the play.
And just when I get super close to the end, this guy gets me.
No! Son of a bitch.
To finish off the last couple guys in the area, I just say screw it and throw a grenade, and that does the job pretty well. I know it's not the end of the chapter, but I was getting super frustrated, so I just felt like ending it there. If you really like this video, please be sure to hit like, and if you really want to support me, you can hit subscribe. That means so much and would be so awesome of you. And what other video games do you want to see me play? What types of videos do you want to see me do? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll also leave a link to the full playlist and the original video in the description if you want to check that out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you later. For the 5th time, let's start this. Uncharted. Of all the people that have ever owned the game though, just shy of 140 people. Never just stand for too long and your knees are just kind of like, Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Like most good games, this game starts on Chapter 3. No, it does not. Dude, I always feel like I can hear everything that's happening outside. I really hope this works. It'd be nice if it did. Chapter 4. Chapter 4 starts equally serene, which is very nice because it very quickly does not be serene. I don't want to record because I hear the ambulance and I don't know if y'all can hear it. You know what I mean? All right. I feel like that went pretty well.